Hi, I'm Barry Lewis along with Dean Rule. After Bixby has routed Owasso in the first Battle of the Burbs here at H.A. Chapman Stadium, the final score was 49-14. And although 7 of the 8 pickers in our weekly World Picks selected Bixby to win, I won't mention who didn't pick Bixby to win. Dean, I don't think anyone expected for Bixby to win by 35 points. Just your first impressions.
No, I got to say, nobody could have thought that Bixby was coming out here and winning by 35 points. But when you see how they did it, it makes sense. They ran with their dual quarterbacks. They had a great run. They had Jersey Rob put up a great performance in the rushing game, and they spread the love with the passing game. You know, Barry, I think it's interesting, a name that did not get said a lot tonight, Luke Haas.
Yes, and Bixby, of course, scored 49 points without much of a contribution, at least as far as receptions from him. Of course, he does little things like he's a really good blocker, and so, but Bixby with a pretty balanced running and passing attack, and going into the game, going into the season, question a lot of people were asking was, who's going to be Bixby's starting quarterback, just as it was before last season? Was it going to be Connor Kirby? Was it going to be the move in from Owasso, Austin Havens? And last year, Kirby and Christian Burke shared the duties, and it worked pretty well since Bixby rolled up routes almost every game. So I was thinking, why mess with success? And it looks like Bixby coach Lauren Montgomery is going with the same plan of attack this year as Kirby and Havens shared snaps tonight.
Yeah, they shared snaps tonight, and like you were saying, to go off the balanced part, Havens seemed more like the passing guy. Kirby, a bit more on the run side, broke an 85-yard touchdown run. But let's not forget he can throw the ball to 35-yard reception or 35-yard passing touchdown there in the fourth quarter. I think it's also interesting on the other side, you know, coming in to fill in for Austin Havens, Mason Willingham. He does a great job tonight, in my opinion, for Owasso. Just can't seem to capitalize when they got into the red zone tonight. Cole Adams not around for the second half either. Not sure what went on there, but he had more than 100 yards receiving in the first half.
Yes, when you look back at the game, yeah, it's hard to imagine by the final score, but Owasso actually looked like the better team a little bit early on. But Owasso missed some great scoring opportunities, 3 deep possessions into Bixby territory, came up with 0 points out of those. They finally did score a touchdown early, and the missed field goals, that had a huge impact in the game. And also, as you mentioned, alluded to, the Cole Adams injury, because he had a stellar first half. I mean, he was putting on quite a show. So Owasso, with some kicking problems and without Cole Adams in the second half, a much different team.
Yeah, you know, I think, like you were saying, 3 deep possessions there, and they only come away with 7 points. I think that was a momentum killer for them. And talking with Jersey Rob after the game, he said when the Spartans went into the locker room at halftime, they knew the Rams were winded. They knew they could take advantage. And sure enough, they came out that third quarter, carried it over into the fourth quarter, and that's how you end up with a 49-14 win for Bixby.
Of course, it didn't hurt from a Bixby standpoint to open the second half just 6 seconds into the second half with a pick 6, and that really set the tone for a dominant second half. So where do the teams go from here? Bixby's next opponent, the Spartans, will return home to face Springdale Harbor, while Owasso, they've got to recover quickly. They visit Jenks next week.
Yeah, I think that'll be a great game. They'll both be great games. And, you know, let's not glaze over the fact, just to close us out here, Bixby, 50th straight win here tonight. And they also come out in dominant fashion and say, we're here, 6A1.
Yes, 50, a pretty special number for the Bixby Spartans. For Dean Rule, this is Barry Lewis. Thanks for joining us.